Hmm. So, I'm about to run 100 miles in a couple of days actually, and one of my boys told me, "Yo, you should talk about how you feel. You know, let the people know that are supporting you and everything." So, I feel a little anxious, but calm at the same time, like an overwhelming peace about what I'm about to do is just part of the journey. So accepting of that, but at the same time, I'm nervous to how I'm going to overcome the pain that I gotta endure while I'm running this 100 miles, because I know it's gonna really test my will and really, really try to beat me down. So mentally, I've just been putting myself in fucked up scenarios on what I would go through in my head, and I'm trying to overcome those, practicing for what I will actually have to endure when my body starts really, going through it. So on one hand, I'm just like, damn, son, can't believe you're really gonna do this, bro. Like, what the hell are you doing? And another side is like, yo, this is what we gotta do. This is what we do now. This is it. This is what you've been talking about. This is what you've been speaking on. This is what you've been trying to do for the longest time now. And now it's here. It's really here. So it's how do you deal with the pressure? How do you deal with reality? Because once you think about it, once you speak on it, it's going to present itself. And are you prepared for the opportunity? And that's where success will lie. But it will be like fake of me to say that, damn, I'm not even worried. I am worried. I'm worried about maybe I get rhabdo or something, like, but then at the same time, if I do get rhabdomyolysis, it's like, okay, now I know how far to push myself. So can I push myself even further? So even then it's a little fucked. Like, so why am I thinking like that? Like, okay, I know that's how far I could go. So let me see if I can push even further. Can I go even more now? And that's the mentality of like, what don't kill you make you stronger. So I'm like, okay, this 100 miles, if it doesn't kill me, it's just gonna be 100 miles that my body has put on. And how am I gonna bounce back from that? But before I can even bounce back, I gotta go through it. And that is more like, man, son, like, you're really gonna try to run 100 miles straight? Shit, boy. I mean, I'm prepping the best way I can with like whatever I think the best way is for me. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be real easy. That would be amazing, right? Or maybe it's gonna be like the worst thing ever. I just don't want to let people down. I don't want to fail. I don't want that feeling of not being able to accomplish whatever it is that you set out to achieve. I don't want that. So I know it's gonna take a lot out of me. Going through life experiences has taught me that whatever you really set your mind to, you can achieve. Whether it's going to college to play soccer, or moving out on your own, or moving to the city by yourself, or getting through college and graduating with a degree after dropping out the first time, traveling, getting the girl, all that kind of stuff. Like, you can really achieve whatever you want to do when you really believe that shit. Sometimes it doesn't work out. I went to college and dropped out. Told everyone I was gonna move to Atlanta. It took me 3 years to finally get there. Got the girl, lost the girl. You go through all these different things, and sometimes it doesn't pan out the same way that you would like it to go, or how you expected it to go, and that just probably goes to like, don't have no expectations. So with this run, I have no expectations. I'm thinking it's gonna be on both sides of the spectrum. It can be as easy as taking a mile walk, or as difficult as running 1,000 miles. But I'm accepting of both sides. I'm accepting of either outcome, and all I know is that I cannot fail. I will not fail. I know I'm gonna die trying if I need to, but this is what it is. This is what it takes. And I'd be a fool if I said I'm not worried, but I'd be a fool if I said that I am. Because that's life. Like, what are we doing with our lives? Some people might not get it, other people will, but I think that's how I feel. I feel accepting of what I'm soon to face, and to take it as it is. And hopefully this raises awareness for what the main point of this all is, and that's to, you know, help out communities of color, to help out communities of low socioeconomic means. And that starts with our brothers and sisters, you know, in the melanin community. We gotta really do better, but I feel like my personal opinion is that that only will happen when we start changing ourselves. If you want to see change in the community, you gotta start changing what's going on in the household. But what's going on in the household is what starts with your mind, starts with your body, starts with how you react to your loved ones, all that kind of stuff. So what we put out there is, you know, what we tend to receive. So hopefully I can get someone to do something, you know, donating, sharing, getting the message out that this whole movement should not last just a moment in time, that people asking for respect and equality and injustice is not something that is brushed over after a few months or is let to the side the next year as if nothing happened. I feel like this is the right decade to really start talking about what's going on and to really get us into the next level of greatness for America. America's always been great. Even during the fucked up times, America was still the best. Unfortunately, we were the best at slaves. Unfortunately, we were the best at being racist and keeping people down. But when we allow people to start having more opportunities, we've seen that, you know, we can take this to new heights. And people of color, like, we're able to really make do with what we've got. So that shows a great resilience in ourselves to have less and still to be able to do more or just as much. And that, you know, can play a trick to go into ego and everything. But even then, you got to have a little bit of ego to know that you can do anything you want to. But the superiority, inferiority complex that can take place if you go too deep into it is what affects, you know, most people. And that's why we don't value each other the same way that we're supposed to value each other, or that we ought to value each other. But that's living in the normative where you don't know how things should be. You can only base things off of the way they are. And the way that the world is and the way that history has been, you know, we have been unkind to our brothers and sisters. And we're in a level of consciousness now where we understand that our past sins are our past sins. And they do have a fundamental factor in what plays out in today's people's lives in society. So you are affected by where you came from and what you've experienced and what your family's experienced, and that does affect your character. But what you do now is in your control. You can decide to be a victim or to take advantage of or be prideful in the fact that you are so strong that you can take all this pain, all this suffering, all this humiliation, all this disrespect, and still be able to rise. That shows character in yourself. So no matter what other people might think of you, your reputation might precede you or whatever, it doesn't really matter in the fact that what you do now is what matters. What you do now is what counts. You can decide how you want to move forward. You have that ability. You can control your thoughts, because that's where it starts from. If you're able to control your thoughts, then you can feel better about yourself, because sometimes we do have doubt, and the devil is in the doubt. And when that creeps in, it affects you, and it's a poison that goes all the way deep inside of your soul, where you start forgetting who you are. You lose value in yourself. And that can affect other people. And selfishly, that you can harm other people, even the people that you love, by thinking you are less than. Sometimes you need to be reminded of that. And when that doesn't occur, you need to remind yourself. You need to find yourself and get yourself out of that hole. And I feel like all the experiences that I've gone through in life is what allows me to do whatever I'm about to do, which is run 100 miles, which is to be an average guy, to be a normal nobody, and to do something that's worth mentioning amongst other greats. And a great person is just a perception of what you feel is great in other people's qualities. You know, whatever you look up to is who you look up to. But I look up to me. I look up to God. I feel it could be ego, but I feel like I can do anything I want God has given me the ability to move, to walk, to think the way that I am, the way that I am blessed to live is all God's doing. It's all God's will. And I'm just living through him or her. I'm just living through God. And I feel like we're all God's actions. The good, the bad, God is everything. So you have to understand, like, there is no judgment. You can't judge people for their past. You can't judge people for what they're even doing at the moment. Because who they are now is not who they're gonna be if they make it that far. And who they were is not who they are. So only God can judge. I try not to. I try to be mindful of that. I try to understand that this is what it is. And I'm just sitting here talking about how I feel, what's going on in my thoughts, because I know when I'm doing this this run, it's gonna take me to different places. One way that I know I'm gonna try to combat these demons that try to get into my mind is basically I try to meditate while I'm running, and that meditation is me just putting my thoughts and focus and energy somewhere else, where I might be going down a certain rabbit hole and I'm thinking about, why do I think about this? Why do I feel that way? Why am I getting these thoughts? Is it my thoughts or is it God's thoughts? Is God in control or am I in control? Is there any free will? Is there only faith? Do I have to put my faith into faith? Or put my faith into faith? So, you know, I feel like I have, and only through God's glory can I have the energy to do more. So I feel like with God by my side, I can push through, because this is just a test and it's an obstacle for me to overcome. For what I want to achieve is something on a higher level and a higher scale. So I know God's gonna put all these obstacles in front of me to really see, like, do I want what I say that I want? You know? Are you able to sacrifice and go through some pain and suffering to achieve the goal that you believe that you deserve? And if you believe you deserve it all, then why aren't you willing to give it all? Because you have to give to take. So all the efforts that I have mentally, physically, I'm going to be tested. Emotionally, I feel like I'll reach new contemplations and epiphanies. Spiritually, I hope I get closer to God. I'm very calm at the current time because, like, it's happening. You know, it's really going down. And I'm only going to be the best that I can be, and I have to accept that. And for whoever can or cannot accept that, you know, that's what it is. You can't control other people. You can only support them in whatever they do and hope for the best. So I hope you guys can support me. I hope you wish me the best. And I appreciate everything we've done so far. And this is just the beginning.